Hey there, it's Mark from MENWHOBULLET. Thanks so much for checking out today's video, which is our monthly collaboration video along with Zinnia, the digital planning app, which is available on the iPad and iPhone. So in this collaboration video, here on this channel, I'm going to create a weekly spread traditionally with pens, paper, ink, and then over on their YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Pixite, you can check out a similar version to this done digitally inside of their app. So let's go ahead and get into this week's spread. What we're going to do is set up our calendar. We're going to have our days of the week here in the center, and then I'm also going to leave a large section over on the right for tasks. And then what we're going to do is fill in with some singular line drawings around here and challenge ourselves a little bit. Materials for this week, we're going to use a pencil as always to make sure that we've got our spacing right before we go in. We've got our ruler for our straight edges, and I also have these Mr. Pen fine liners that I'm going to be using, a 06, a 02, and a 005. For most of the larger spaces, we're going to be using the 2 and the 6, and then I'll be using the very fine point 005 for the headers as well as for the calendar. So the first thing I'll do is go ahead and ink everything in when it comes to the boxes that we're going to be creating. So again, I'm going to use the 02 fine liner here, and I'm just going to show you first how we're going to create one of these spiral bound containers that we're going to use as our theme for this week, and then we'll speed everything up from there. We're going to skip one space at the top, we'll go down 10 spaces, and then across 10 spaces to create a square, and we'll leave 3 spaces in between each one of these. So the first thing I'll do is just take my fine liner and go ahead and fill in this square here. So to create this spiral bound look, we don't have to worry about sketching over anything and erasing lines. We're just going to go ahead and create this full square here. And by doing this, we actually have the dots that are right below that top line there. And we're just going to create this curved line to go over top. And this will give it the look that we've got a spiral bound container. Once you have these in here, I'm just going to go back and just create a small little circle around each of the bottoms of these lines. You could of course do this first if you wanted to, but I just like to see the dot that's there as my little marker, and then that way I know where to start and then how to hook around, and then I can always add these afterwards. Now what we're going to do on the left and the bottom is to make this look like a stack. You could also just use a marker to create a drop shadow if you wanted to, but to create this stack look, we're just going to draw a diagonal coming from the top down towards the left. We'll do that on all sides, and then we'll go ahead and connect those lines. Once you have those, I'm just going to draw some diagonals inside of here. If you wanted to, you could come in with some vertical and horizontal lines on here to also make it look like paper as well. But just adding some of these details here can make it look really cool. And then over on the right hand side, we'll just create a larger version of what we've used for the smaller spaces for the days of the week. I'm going to leave some space here at the bottom for another line drawing, but you can use this space however you want. If you find that you have a lot of notes and tasks during the week, you want to give yourself more space. To keep with the theme, I'm going to also make this look like a spiral bound, but instead of creating all the way across, since there's a lot of lines for this wider one, I'm just going to make 4 here at the top, and I'll use the same technique to make this look like a stacked piece of paper as I did for those middle ones. Now that we have all of our container boxes here, what I'm going to do is use this really fine liner here, the 005, and this is the pen that I'm going to use for my headers for the days of the week. So we'll do Monday through Friday, as well as a space for the weekend. We'll go ahead and write in notes over on the right hand side, and then I'm just going to use this pen for the calendar over here. I really like having a small mini calendar on my page as I go through the weeks, one to let me know where I am in the week, and also if anyone has meetings or are asking questions about appointments, I can easily use that as a reference page throughout my week. That way, if I'm looking ahead or behind for any dates that may have already come or have passed, I can easily reference them here right inside of my notebook instead of looking at my phone or another calendar. One thing that I really like to do with these is also just to use a highlighter or maybe some type of bolder pen just to highlight over the week that we're in. So I'm just going to use this gel highlighter from Mr. Pen just to go over top of these real quick. I love these gel highlighters. They work really well over top of any type of marker or pen without any type of smudging, and that's always a great thing. Now that I have all these details here, the next thing that I'm going to do is take out my 06. So this is going to be a bit of a bolder marker. We're going to be using this for the header here for February, and then we're also going to use this marker for the single line drawings that we're going to do over in these open spaces. Now for these organic shapes, I like to use a pencil first because I am not awesome. These look very simplistic when you see the one-line drawings online, or if you've ever done any type of contour drawings. I just want to make sure that this looks good before I use my marker. So what I'm going to do is just sketch this out first with my pencil, and then I'll come back in with that thicker line marker to really make sure that it's refined looking. So when you're creating these contour drawings, you're just looking for a general shape. So for the left-hand side, because I have a lot of space, I'll draw this larger face. And then I'm feeling kind of planty this week, so I'm going to show you how to do a really quick and easy single line plant drawing. All you have to do with it is really just take your line straight up to the top where you want to start and create your first leaf, and then just come right back down, looping your pencil back and forth as you go through. I'll continue with this face single line drawing here over on the right hand side, but I'll just make this one a lot smaller. I feel better about doing these profile single line drawings than I do the front for some reason. I think it's just because I'm looking just to get a general outline, and you can easily kind of draw an eye, a nose, and a mouth and leave some space. And I'm going to also continue with the single line contour plant over here on the right hand side too, just looping my leaves as I come back down. Now that I have this, I feel very comfortable about this. If I didn't like anything, I can always come back and erase it and go over it just to refine it a little bit more. And even when I'm using my pen right now, as you can see, I'm not tracing over that line perfectly because there's some spaces that were a little loose and I just want to tighten them up a little bit. But for the most part, I'm going to follow over top of the lines that I already have. The other thing you can do with the pencil is see if things don't quite feel right. So as you can see, I added an extra leaf that I didn't go over top of the pencil just because I wanted to fill that space as I was going down, and I think it looks pretty good. We'll do the same exact thing on the right hand side, just following along with the line that we already did in pencil. Even though these are supposed to be single line drawings, don't forget, no one's going to know unless you tell them. So if you need to stop and pick up your pen and reposition it or get a better line, feel free. I promise I won't tell anyone. What I love about the single line contour plant drawings is that they're super easy to do. They're just flowing, almost like you're drawing a ribbon going down a straight line. They're really easy to do, and I think they look pretty cool. Now that everything's down in ink, my favorite part, getting rid of all of the pencil that we put down. That'll clean up all of our lines, make all of our contour drawings look great too. And here you go, our entire week, room for a calendar, days of the week down the center, and notes, as well as our contour single line drawings on the left and right hand side. As I mentioned before, this is an ongoing collaboration that I have with Zinnia, so if you'd like to see a cool design similar to this one but done inside of their app, you can head over to their YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Pixite, to check out a digital version of this spread. Thanks again for watching this video today, and if you have any comments or you'd like to see other videos like this, make sure to drop a comment below, and don't forget, if you haven't already, to subscribe to this channel for more collaboration videos as well as weekly bullet journal designs. I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great one. See ya.